Hello everybody and welcome to this video. Yesterday, AQA released a news article which explained how there's going to be a change in the 2018 English language exams. It's only a minor change, but if you have a certain approach to how you answer the questions, it could affect you more than others. So today I want to talk to you about what that change is, what it means, and how you can make sure it doesn't affect you in a negative way. So I'll put the link in the description to the news article, but AQA have said, we've increased the answer space for some questions. We hope this will reduce the need for students to use additional answer booklets. Now, you may not be aware of this, but when you're sitting the AQA English language exams, you write your answers in the answer booklet, and if you feel that you have more that you want to write, but you've run out of space, you put your hand up, you get another bit of paper, and you write your extra part of your answer in there. If we look back at the 2017 examiner's report, it gives us a hint at least one of the questions this might be relating to. This is not, definitely the answer because AQA haven't said which questions they're talking about, but if you look at the examiner's report, as we've done in my videos before, for paper 1 question 2, we read that a significant number of students wrote at great length, which is neither necessary nor recommended. It's entirely possible to display clear perceptive qualities without resorting to additional sheets. So certainly paper 1 question 2 would be my guess of what we're talking about here. And paper 1 question 2 is an interesting question because there are so many things you could write about, but that doesn't mean you should write about so many things. Now, who is this going to affect? This might affect you if you're one of the people who approaches exams by looking at how much space there is given for your answer and then feeling that you need to fill that space. But I don't think that's the best approach to exams. If you've watched my videos, you know that my approach to exams is to look at how much time you have divided by the marks available and then work out how long you should spend on each question. Give yourself the right balance of time on a question according to how many marks are available. So if we look at the English language exams, if you allow just 10 minutes to read the source in paper 1, then for question 1, 4 marks, you'd spend 5 minutes. Question 2, 10 minutes. Question 3, 10 minutes. Question 4, 25 minutes. Question 5, 45 minutes. And what we're talking about is just over 1 minute per mark available for each question. So if you get into the 2018 exam and there's more space than you're used to in the answer booklet for paper 1 question 2, that shouldn't affect you and your response to the question, because you should just think this is an 8-mark question, I'm going to spend 10 minutes on it and then move on. In my experience working with thousands of students, I've seen how students tend to write the same amount for question 2 and question 3 and question 4. And yet question 4 is worth 20 marks. It's worth more than twice that of question 3. So it is absolutely essential that you manage your timing and you base the amount of time you spend on an answer, and as a result of that, the amount of content you write for an answer, on how many marks are available. So it's not, do I need to write 3 paragraphs? Oh, well, now there's more space. Should I write 4? It's no, I'll see how many marks this question is worth, and I will base the amount I write on that amount of marks. So this timing idea on the screen here, you can see it yourself, is really based on the idea that the source in paper 1, the 2 sources in paper 2 will take you about 10 minutes to read, and then you're going to spend this amount of time on the questions. That doesn't mean this is the amount of time that you spend writing. Something like paper 1 question 4, I find it takes a good 5 minutes to plan and find your answers for it. So let's recap what's happening. In 2018 in your English language exams, there will be a slight change. That slight change is that some of the questions will have more space available for you to write your answer. That is not necessarily the exam board saying we want you to write more here. It is probably a reaction to 2017 and how people were writing lots for certain questions. So rather than, have to give every examiner extra pages, you just sort of put it in the booklet. However much you write should be based on the marks available, translated to how much time you should spend on a question. I hope you found this video useful. Please don't panic. There's nothing new to this other than, the paper will look ever so slightly different. But if your approach is based on however much space there is there, I try to fill it, I'd rather tell you about this now so you don't panic in those June exams and think, oh no, all of a sudden there's more space, but I've only ever, had to write this amount and now I've got to write this amount. Rather, you should look at the amount of time that you should spend on each question.